Hey everybody, how's it going out there? Hope it's going good. This is another project. This is a 2002 Suzuki Eiger quad runner. I've had this, I bought this new. It's been a great machine, running around the farm. Use it for a ton of stuff. My goal is to try to get it running again by fall, so that I can get firewood and everything, around in the field, fixing stuff and all that good stuff. So this is another one of my little projects. Let's see, what did I replace? Replaced brake lever, the petcock, of course. I had that issue where it dumped gas into the airbox. When I went to start it up, thank God it didn't catch on fire because the airbox was full of gas. Including the motor and oil filter. Change all that out. Bought the new Yamaha Banshee petcock. Put a filter in there, gravity fed to the carburetor. Carburetor I rejetted, but wasn't quite right, and I second guessed myself and I took it to the shop. He kind of fiddled around with it, got it home. Hard to start on the choke. That started, and then it just wouldn't start. So I didn't know if it's the gravity fed issue. It doesn't like that. I'm not sure. It would run on choke, but not after it warmed up and turned the choke off, it would die. So that was the last issue. Now I've charged the battery. It very well could be a crappy battery. So I might have to get a new battery and start with that. I replaced a rectifier last year because it was draining the battery and then it wouldn't start. I'd pull it and it would start with with that guy, but that is such a bear. Anyway, so that resolved that issue, but everything kind of went downhill as soon as that petcock failed. After that failed, it was one thing after another. It was the petcock, all the tubing, the filter, the carburetor started acting weird, the rectifier, because of the battery issue. I'm trying to think of anything else that I've done to it. So right now, supposedly the battery is showing it's charged, and when I turn on the key, there's nothing. Obviously, so you can see, no start, no nothing. So I guess my next adventure would either be this relay, go through these guys, the fuses, to make sure none of those are corrupt. I put the replacement in the starter because they handily left a nice little 10 amp fuse for that. That didn't do the trick, so I'm kind of at a quandary now because obviously I can't start it to work on the carburetor. Even pull starting it's difficult. Like I said, it will not start. So I gotta figure this one out. If any of you guys have any ideas about what the next phase should be. I don't have an electrical tester, which is dumb. I should have one, but I don't. So that's my next situation. I'd like to test that battery. I mean, it's not that old. It's maybe 2 years old, so I tend to believe it's not the battery. Changed a fuse in there. Like I say, I think I'm gonna have to go maybe order a new relay. I mean, that could be it. Go through all the fuses and just try to at least get it started, because I still have the other dilemma of it not running, idling properly. Like I say, when it's on choke, it runs great. As soon as you unchoke it, and to me, it sounds like something's not right in the carb. I don't know if that pilot screw is out far enough or in far enough, but I can tell you that when I first took the carburetor apart, there's where the needle sits. Whoever worked on it before, it was turned upside down and it had a washer in it. And I did see that was an older trick to try to, adjust that needle. When I took it to the shop, I had an aftermarket carb that I had actually put in, and it was running pretty good with it. And so when I sent it off, I sent the original carb with it, just because I prefer to use original parts. And as far as I can tell, they did, but I sort of thought the float was bad. And from what I can see, they didn't utilize the newer float. So it looked like they'd put everything back together the way it was, maybe with new jets, I'm not sure. But yeah, so the idle is off. I mean, it idles well, but once the choke is off, forget about it, it dies. So it's not getting gas. I sort of wonder, once I get it running, maybe bypass the filter. Maybe it's not feeding gasoline properly. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like anybody else has had any problems after they put the Yamaha petcock on there. Other than that, I mean, I don't know other than that, to take it out, look at that pilot jet, see if it's, you know, maybe needs to be turned out a quarter crank or something. I'm not sure. I may cave and put in the aftermarket carb if I can't get this one going. But in the meantime, I need to figure out what this electrical issue is. Why it's my charger says the battery's charged, but yet once the key is on, it's nothing. So it's got to be obviously something electrical. My course of action and my thinking is probably replace that relay, go through my fuses, probably just get a new battery just in case. I mean, this one sat winter, you know, over a winter, 2 winters. It very well could have had some issue there. But this has been a great bike, and I really need this quad running come fall. I use it a ton for work around the farm. I actually baby it. I've tried to keep it in really good shape. Tried to keep it clean. There's no rips in my seat. Plastics are all pretty good. I got some broken plastics that I Frankenstein together with zip ties, because, you know, it doesn't have to be beautiful. It just has to be functional. So yeah, that's my other important project. Like I said, it's early August here. I gotta get this running by September, October. Getting firewood in and checking fences and hauling manure and all that good stuff. So once again, if you guys have any idea where I should start, or you think if I'm on the right track, I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking electrical, obviously. I'm thinking relay. I think the first thing I need to do is get a new battery, just for my own peace of mind. And then go from there. The other thing I had a little bit of trouble with when I put the carburetor back in, because this carburetor is such a monster to get out of there. There's no room to do it. And so I wasn't super happy with this choke and what was going on there. I have seen where a video I'd watched before, the gentleman had a similar issue with the choke, and he ended up letting out the throttle or something. He loosened something up, which gave that more room to rotate, because that aftermarket carburetor was different. Like I say, this is original carb. It does look like he put a new cap on that, and that I think is new. But yeah, I probably should have left that old carb, the newer carb in there, because it was running good then, but I'm not sure. Like I say, I like to keep it original. I hate to have to take the carb out of there again. It was such a pain in the butt to get it out. Very minimal workspace in there. I don't have like man hands, but still, it's a little tough getting in there. It's a knuckle buster, and I don't want to take the tank off and all that, of course. But you know. But yeah, so if you guys have any ideas where I should go next, that would be awesome. The other thing I wanted to make note of is at some point up in this fan, where the cable meets the motor, which is back in there, can't really get a good picture of it, it had melted it. So now that fan doesn't work, and where it connects, the connector, it's a tough one. I'm not sure whether I'll have to rewire that or do something strange with that, but especially in the summertime, I want that fan to be running. That's secondary right now because I really run it in the wintertime. I don't run it hard, just chores and stuff. But yes, that needs to be addressed. So that's yet another thing I'll be kind of investigating. And like I say, it's not at the top. It's where it meets the motor. We had a little bit of a meltage. Not sure why that happened. It's kind of weird. But maybe something electrical is going on I'm not aware of. But that happened a long time ago. I never had any issues with it as far as running it went. But yeah, so any feedback y'all have would be great. Like I said, it's a 2002 Suzuki Eiger quad runner, 2-wheel, not 4-wheel. But yeah, so I guess that's my plan of attack. Probably new battery, check the fuses, get a new relay. And like I said, there's not a ton that I've done to this other than basic stuff like y'all who have the Eigers have had. And that's the diaphragm failing and that petcock dumping fuel into the air box. It just dumped, I mean, I had a full tank and it dumped an entire tank of gas into that air box and all into the motor. So that was a fun little job. But the Yamaha Banshee, I think it was a Banshee or a Blaster, one or the other, that petcock did fit in here just right, perfectly. It's a little bit harder to get to with the plastics on. It's not as elongated as the other one was. And like I say, when I get it running, half tempted to order an original one just because I worry about that gravity feed. But the other problem is no way to turn it off, but I could always put a valve at the filter to turn the gas off. But yeah, so yet again, another little project. And like I say, if you've got any ideas, anybody who's got one of these and who's had that problem or any of these issues, let me know what you think. Like I say, that's the plan of attack this go around, and I'd love to get this thing going again. Like I said, I baby it. I really don't run it around. I run it around a little bit in the cornfields and stuff to play around and check beehives and things of that nature, but mostly to work with. So I really baby it because I need it, and I don't want to be without it, which is happening right now. So yeah, give me some feedback, y'all, if you have any ideas or what you might think the issue is. Let me know if I'm on the right track. That would be my next plan of attack, like I said earlier. Fuses, battery. As far as mice and chewing stuff, I haven't had that much trouble. I did have a nest in the battery box because I had a battery out over the winter at the house, and I recharged it when I came back over here. There was a big old mouse nest right there. So I'm a little suspicious if they chewed something, which would really suck. But yep. So anyway, guys, give me some ideas. Let me know what you think. Like I said, there's always something going on here. Always some kind of project, and we'd love to hear from you. Love some feedback. I know there's a lot of people out there with these Eigers, but like I said, I really babied it, taking good care of it. It's nice and clean. It's a clean machine. I mean, other than the minor farm working issues, you know, a little bit of paint, scratch, and whatnot. But yeah, so this is a nice ideal building. I need to get that GS 750 over here and stored in here. The KX lives over in that corner. That needs to be brought back over. It's probably going to take 10 people to help me roll the 750 out. And but that's another goal. I'd like to get that over here so that I could start maybe tearing things down off of it and think about what I want to do with that one. Love to get it back on the road again too. But alright guys, I guess that's it from now. Like I say, give me some feedback. Let me know what your experience is with these guys. Obviously it's electrical. It's either, you know, battery, relay, fuses, and then I'm gonna go from there. Once I can get it to run, get it started, then I can start figuring out the carb issue and whether or not it would be a bright idea to get the original petcock. I just don't know. It seems like nobody's had a problem with it. I think it's just I think it's adjustment related in the carburetor, that needle valve or something. Something's up with that. So anyway, you guys, I appreciate you watching. Appreciate your feedback. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you later.